Okay, so a lot of people like to talk shit about Courtney Love, or Courtney Love Cobain as she goes by now, but how many of those people who blog, who make videos, who write mean articles, who go on social media and tweet really terrible stuff about her, how many of those people have actually met Courtney Love and been close enough to her for a long enough period of time to see the whites of her eyes? I have, and that's what this video is about. Welcome to the Radioactive Patient, a music, art, and mental health mashup. I'm Allison Strong, your host. And no, I'm not a YouTube influencer. I'm not a YouTube shrink, therapist, doctor. I'm just a person with a lived history of substance abuse and a mental health condition. So I used to be a music director at a radio station, which is the person who basically coordinates what all the records are that are going to be listened to during the weekly music meeting. And it wasn't unusual in any given week for there to be hundreds of new songs up for consideration for airplay and only 3 available slots to put those songs in. But when Courtney Love's major label debut, Live Through This, was released in April of 1994, I couldn't believe it. It seemed like the phrase live through this had been handpicked just for somebody who is trying to live through the worst possible thing that could have happened to them in their life. And in Courtney Love's case, that was the death of Kurt Cobain, her husband. But no, the album had been slated for release, and Kurt just happened to off himself a week before the album came out. About a year later, when Veruca Salt and Hole, Courtney Love's band, went on tour, they came and played Phoenix, which was where I was living and working at the time. Radio stations have these contests where the people who call in and win these contests get free tickets to a concert, and they get backstage passes. Those are also called meet and greets, and basically it means that you get to meet the musician or the band and have your picture taken, and then that's that. So anyway, I took my winners backstage. We went to Courtney Love's dressing room. Knock, knock, knock. She's like on her way out, going somewhere else entirely. We kind of slowed her down and said, wait a second, I'm here with the radio station and here are my winners. Can we take a couple pictures with you? And her eyes narrowed and she goes, make it quick, make it snappy. Okay, here's what she looked like. Really tall, really thin, her pretty heart-shaped face, super angular. The whites of her eyes were yellow, but I mean, look at what she was going through. Her husband had been dead just a little over a year, and here she was playing this huge tour. I mean, and the public, they hated her. She was living in this toxic mix of people accusing her of either being part of some murder conspiracy against the late Kurt Cobain or driving him to off himself, as evidenced in the lyrics of the song Heart-Shaped Box on Nirvana's In Utero album. Okay, so that was that. Fast forward to 1999, and my husband, who by the way worked for Geffen Records, had been transferred to Los Angeles, so we were living there. There was this one day, I remember I was writing an article about a band, and I was parked at Sunset and Doheny right by the Laugh Factory, and I was about to cross the street, and there she is. It's Courtney Love. I do not recognize this woman. First of all, she's put on weight. Second of all, the whites of her eyes are actually white. Her skin was fresh scrubbed and pink. Her hair was shiny. She looked great. Instead of being like brassy and you know how she gets, she was like quiet and shy as she shook my hand and talked about her acting career and the music that she was working on and some of the publicity that she was doing. She had just done the movie The People vs. Larry Flynt with Woody Harrelson, and as a condition of doing that movie, she had regular piss tests and she had to be involved in some kind of recovery program. She had to have been in recovery. I, at that time, was not, but I could see that she was. Anyway, that's it for this edition of the Radioactive Patient. If you like this video, make comments. Even if you totally hated what I had to say and think I'm horseshit, just go in there and type a few words, because what happens is the algorithm goes nuts when people take the time to actually write something and then they push the video out to more people. And the thing about commenting right now, the station is small enough that I can read and respond to everything that you write me. So I'm Allison Strong, and until we meet again, ciao for now.